What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. This is Uncut with Q, where we talk about all things business, all things personal development, leadership, current events. So if this is your first time tuning in, guys, you already know we got a fee. All right. And the fee is, if you like this podcast, if it made you think, if it gave you a new perspective, if it made you grow better as a person, then the fee is that you share the show. All right, guys. So on today's episode, I have a really good friend of mine. What's up, dude?
Hey.
How are you doing?
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you, dude.
I'm honored.
I'm honored. This is so cool.
No, I'm honored.
Dude, so like this is a really good friend of mine. How long have we known each other now?
Man, it hasn't even been a year yet.
It hasn't been a year?
Mm-mm.
No way. You had to have been in Surface for a lot longer than that.
No, I had just joined whenever I was like getting involved, and then you were like,
how did you hear about me anyway?
I was like struggling in business. So I was like, shit, what do I do? And I just started, your videos kept popping up. I had seen you, but I hadn't like really paid that much attention. Not, it's not personal. I was just
you're
like,
good. You're good.
So yeah, I was like, okay, let me see what, he's doing. And you were saying things that were catching my eye at the time, things that I was struggling with. And then I joined Surface, and it was only like $99 a month. I think it's still the same.
Yeah, it is still the same.
So I was like,
I should really raise the price on these things.
Inflation.
Inflation, right?
But yeah, so I joined, and like you immediately were adding value and things that I needed. So yeah, I don't know how we got to talking about like you mentoring me.
I feel like you messaged me about like some kind of resource or something, right?
I feel like you like were like, oh
hey,
shoot, I gotta help her.
It was something like that. I don't remember.
Either.
Anyway, guys, for y'all that don't know, because I know we're really taking it back. That was like a year ago. But dude, introduce yourself actually to everybody that's listening.
Okay, well, my name's Oana Marmaliki. I own a wholesale company. I'm a daughter. I'm a dog mom, and now I have a cat too. We do a lot of wholesale. I own a storage facility, just a little random small one in Texas. So yeah, that's what I'm doing these days. I have a little ATM business.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So ATMs, dog mom, warehouse, real estate company.
Yep.
Got it. Dude. So like, I just for everybody to know, to give context to this, I literally been coaching this gal for almost a year now. And it's honestly just been astronomical to see your growth that you've had in this space. So
thank you.
Dude, it's cool as fuck. And now you're on my podcast.
I know.
So like, wow.
Wow.
We don't plan these things, by the way. This kind of just happening.
Yeah. No, I'm really blessed to have met you. It's weird because I felt like I knew the things that I needed to do, but I always I call you all the time and I'm like, hey, should I do this? Even though I know that it's what I should be doing, I just need to hear it from you. And so, you helped me like figure out some of the things that I knew that I was doing wrong. You just kind of were blunt and said it, me being a bad leader, you said it. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. So that really like meeting you and like, you kind of pouring into me. The first meeting that we had, you gave me a lot of information up front. I mean, we took a look at my business, and it was just, you've changed that business a million times over. And it was like small, little, tiny changes that I needed to make that I didn't know. So
they make the big outcome.
Yeah.
I honestly feel that you have been one of the most successful, I'll say, like mentees that I've ever taken on.
Sweet.
I love teaching. I love real estate investing. It was my first thing that I ever did that really put me on this path to creating other businesses, because now I have a ton of other things that are going on. But to see where you're taking your real estate company in such a short time, like it's just been awesome to see it. It makes me feel like I could do more in my own business,
Yeah, no, every time I come here, I'm like, oh my God, I need to be doing more. And it motivates me every time to do more. So
we bring up each other.
Yeah.
We build each other up. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Dude, so like it's awesome having you on the podcast and everything. As far as what you're doing right now, like with the real estate side and all that stuff, like where did you come from? You know what I mean? It wasn't always like this, right? You didn't have a real estate business when you were born.
No, but how amazing would that be? I would have liked that. But no, I was just, I was,
Where are you from? Let's start off there.
Okay, I'm from Romania. I moved here whenever I was 2. My parents won it's called the visa lottery. So it's not money, but it's like they essentially grant you a visa to come into the States.
America gives you a visa lottery.
Yeah. Well, gives Romania a visa lottery, and my parents just so happen to win it.
Wow.
Yeah. So we won that. I was 2, my brother was 3, and my parents just kind of left everything that they knew. You know, my whole family is still overseas. Everybody's kind of spread out across Europe now, but everybody was in Romania, and they took a chance. We came to the States. We had a sponsor, and the sponsor ended up like, he was like stealing money essentially.
Wow.
Like the money that was supposed to be helping us. So we kind of broke away from that, obviously. And my parents didn't really know a lot of English. And, you know, my mom
spoke the native language of Romania?
Yes.
What is the name of that language?
Romanian.
Romanian. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I ask is because in like other countries, so like I own a huge company in the Philippines, the
Yeah.
name of it isn't Filipino, you know,
Yeah.
it's Tagalog. So
Yeah.
I'm always curious. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So it's just literally speaking Romanian.
Yep.
And what is that language like derived from?
I think it's like Latin based. I mean, and there's a lot of like Spanish words that don't ask me to say
Like
some
similar
right now.
to Italian?
Just-
No,
I
Italian
don't really know
is
what
not
Italian.
Latin. Whatever. Okay, going on to this.
Yeah.
All right, so your parents,
So,
they
yeah.
came here, they have a sponsor and all that.
Mhm. So yeah, my mom, she tells me the story all the time that we were playing outside with the neighborhood kids, and she started crying because me and my brother didn't know how to communicate with them. Like they were speaking English to us, and we were just speaking Romanian and hoping that it would work. But eventually, we, you know, watched TV and we learned the language, so it was good. But yeah, that's where I'm from. That's how I got here, and I didn't do anything crazy growing up. My parents weren't in business; they were just trying to, make a living. They were trying to survive, and they struggled a lot, and I saw that, and a lot of it was kind of put on me whenever I was younger. Not intentionally, of course, but parents are human. And so I wanted more for myself, and I wanted to be better. And that's kind of how it's crazy, because I remember I was in like high school and I'm like, oh, I'll just get like a 9 to 5. If I make 100,000, I'm good. And then as I started to get through college, I was like, no, fuck that. I'm not working a 9 to 5. Like I have this thing, like I hate people telling me what to do, because like my brother growing up got to do whatever and I didn't. And so I don't know, that translated into my adult life, I guess. So yeah, I just was going to college and I read a book about it. And I was like, this seems like something I can do.
How long ago was this?
It was like 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then all this growth that has happened. And for you guys that don't know, man, I've literally seen this gal go from like making a couple of bucks to like straight up over like well over 6 figures, 6 times over. It's like been insane. And you have no business partners. This is all you?
Yeah. So I had one, but yes, this new company is just me. Yeah.
Gotcha. What's the name of your company?
Property Hub. Shoot, I just hit this thing.
Don't worry about it. Property Hub.
Yes, Property Hub.
I love it. I love it. So like primarily the focus of this is what? Like wholesaling real estate?
Yeah.
Or okay, cool. So what does your team look like? How big is your office?
So we are actually all virtual. We don't have an office as of yet. We're about to start scaling the company a bit, and I want my acquisitions people to be in office because I feel like that's how they will learn best. So right now we're just virtual. There's 10 of us. Acquisitions guy, sales guy, marketing, transactions, and then we have some callers, some texters, and some VAs that get random stuff done. But yeah, we're a small team, but I like it that way. We come together in meetings, and that's how we interact with each other daily, and then we're on WhatsApp, and that's how we communicate too. But
there's synergy. That's the most important
Yeah.
thing, is that you have synergy with your team.
yeah,
Like there's 3 things in a business that I feel will make it the most successful. Number 1 is simplicity. Number 2 is foresight. And then number 3 is alignment. And when you have a team that knows that the tasks at hand are simple and you've made the hard things easier, you're going to get a lot further. And then when you create foresight, you're literally looking at things that could go wrong, yet things that also could go right. You're expecting for market shifts, economic shifts, XYZ. And then the last one, right? We have simplicity, then we have foresight, and then we have alignment. Alignment is when everyone's on the same page. It's like towards where I don't even have to worry about what's going on.
Yeah.
Because my team is there and they know what's going on.
yeah.
Dude,
I'm at that point with my people, and we have been for like 6 months now. So that's why last time I was here, I came to you and I was like, I should probably start scaling now. Cause like you said, I've gotten to a spot where like I'm comfortable and I need to kind of break out of that. It's because I can trust everybody on my team. They all do what they're supposed to do and I don't have to worry about it. So now that I'm at that spot, I know that it's time to grow.
Let me ask you a question. What was the most challenging part about scaling your business?
Oh, I think finding the right people is super hard. Finding the right people that align with the company and like the current people that are there is really, really hard. I mean, I just went through 5 lead managers before I found one. And, you know, I know it was an entire hiring process. And then I was like, no, they don't fit the team. Like it just isn't a good vibe. And we got rid of them. So I think that's the hardest part for me. That's pretty much it.
Honestly, dude, I think that's hard for everyone because even I still struggle with that. And I love people. You know I love people. I make friends with anybody. We just hired a new gal today for our production company.
Yeah.
But I hire on energy. You know what I mean? Like the vibe's got to be good. The conversation has to be good. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to apply yourself. And I have to see that you want more for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what would you say is the main reason why employees leave a company? Just wondering what your perspective on that is.
I think that if you don't create like a path for them to be able to grow, they kind of don't see the vision long term, and then the job becomes disposable. So if they have a different opportunity somewhere else or somebody paying them more, they just go because they don't really see a future within the company. So I think that
a company with a future is a company that has employees that are staying in the long term.
I think so, yeah.
Without a doubt. So, dude, I have a question. You know, like, so entrepreneurship, you looked into it 3 years ago. A lot of people would have just stayed in college and like gone through all of that, you know, the college way. What was the driving factor for you to even think about starting a business?
To be honest, I was going to interviews before college was over. And I think I talked about this before, but everybody told me it was going to be hard to get a job after college. So I was kind of, you know, banking on that. I was like, all right. Well, but people kept offering me jobs and I was just like, you know, they'd walk me through what the day looked like. And I'm like, oh, that sounds actually miserable. Like, I can't even imagine doing that. Because I had office jobs before. And like my current job at the time was a sales job. I was selling insurance, but it was like at night. So I could like do whatever with my day and then, you know, go there at night. So it was like structured, but a little less. So yeah, I was going to these interviews and I was getting the job offer and I just could not see myself going there. And then I actually did take one because it was a startup. It was a financial firm and they basically said they were going to grow me into a financial advisor, but I needed to like help organize them. So I think they were like, oh, woman, you know, she's got this, she can organize, but that's just not me at all. Like I suck at organization. So I dreaded that job every time I went there. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, I can't do this. They would like, you know, they would teach me some stuff. It was semi-helpful, but it just was not for me.
Did you feel like miserable being there?
I was like actually miserable, yeah.
What was the part about it? You just not feel like you were in the same, like you were in the right place where you like feel like you could grow?
I felt like I could grow there, but I didn't want to grow into that. It was like they were just really like uppity and like, it just wasn't my vibe. Maybe it was the company, but I would go in there and I would sit in a room by myself and then they would like give me files and I don't even remember what I had to do, fucking organize them or some shit. I don't remember what I had to do, but then they would sometimes let me sit in on these meetings and it kind of felt like they were just saying like bullshit almost. Like it wasn't real advice. So yeah, I just didn't like it.
Any experience that I've ever had with financial advisors, I walked in and I believe the name of the company was World Financial Group. WFG, and they tried to get me to sign up for life insurance and they showed me how I could become a millionaire by the time I was 65 by saving money.
Yeah.
I never understood that concept. You know what I mean? Do you think that you can save your way to wealth or would you rather invest? What would you do?
Right. I would invest.
I would too. I mean, straight up. Like when they told me that, I looked at them and I was like, you know, I'm a real estate investor, right? Like my security is based in assets, not in your financial plan for me.
Yeah.
2 entirely different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, dude, how did you come up with your company name?
So
Property Hub is very similar to Pornhub, let's be honest.
Yes, it is. Mostly I just wanted to detach myself from the previous brand and I didn't really want anyone to ask me what why or any questions about it. So I was like, sex sells. If I just make it something like that, everybody will, it's a lot of dudes in the industry. So everybody will just be like, porn, so it's kind of what happened, and nobody really asked me anything about it. So it just worked out that way.
It works. I remember my friend Donovan had fucking shared that you had sent him a property to look at.
Yeah.
And it said Property Hub on it. And he was like, marketing A1.
Yeah. And it took me a long time to come up with it. Remember, I talked to you about names forever.
Yeah.
And my team liked it too. My sales guy, he's going to be the one like directly promoting it, and he loved it. So I was like, okay.
I love just Hub in general. Hub is like a place where we can all go. Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's got to be the most unique marketing piece that I've ever heard of.
It's crazy because once I got it, I feel like I see Hub everywhere now, but like in different like industries.
I see that. You know what, man? Like, honestly, that idea though, that you were talking about, how it being a male dominated industry, you don't even allow that to really affect your success in the business. You married a product to it because, I mean, dudes watch porn.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
What it is.
No chicks that watch porn too. You know what I'm saying? My girl watches. I mean, I probably shouldn't.
Let's cut that out.
No, we'll keep it in. We'll keep it in. If she ever listens to this, she'll love it. But it was like one of those things where I was like, damn, this catches my fucking attention. And I love that so much. How do you feel about being involved in, quote unquote, I mean, it is as real as clear as day, a male dominated industry like real estate? Like, how do you separate yourself and how do you make a difference being in an industry like this? Like, what do you do that makes your business stand out opposed to all the other guys?
So to be honest, I really don't ever think about it like that. I don't ever think like, oh, I'm a woman, and I don't really like, my mind doesn't go to like play that card. I know that maybe I should, because I could probably capitalize on that and,
well, you
spin
said
it into some videos.
Earlier. That's why I was kind of like bringing that up.
Yeah. But I feel like that's across, every industry. But as far as like, I'm not like thinking about it like that. Like, I'm a woman, I need to do this and that. I don't know. I just haven't really thought about it like that. maybe I should, but I think how
passive that is.
Yeah, it's just whatever. But I think the hardest part is, being the leader in my company whenever, you have new people coming in, and like, especially because we get a lot of VAs and they're, foreign overseas. Mm-hmm. The tradition is to, the man comes first, the man is more respected, blah, blah, blah. So I've had to fire people because it's clear that they don't respect me because I am a woman. Like, I could say that, like, my acquisitions manager, he helps me a lot with like training and stuff. Yeah. And he could literally say the same exact thing to them that I've just said, and they interpret it totally different. So I've been able to kind of pick up on that whenever it becomes that, and I know that I have to get rid of them. And even whenever I had an in-office team, it was like that a little bit too. So it's like you have to work a little harder to earn the respect, and then sometimes you straight up can't because, God forbid you have to listen to a woman, tell you what to do. But I think that's where it comes into play for me, not really like my
it sounds more like it's annoying.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. Yeah.
I remember it just happened like 10 minutes ago, but we were sitting on the couch and you were showing me that how your videos were doing because we're doing some marketing stuff with you, right? Mm-hmm. And then somebody messaged you and they were like saying that they were quote unquote listening, like interested in a property, but they saw Property Hub and they were wondering if you were like, freaky. Yeah. And then what was it that happened after that? You were like, if you're interested in this property, here, you can email for more details here. And then what did they say after that?
They were like, well, do you want to hang out? Like, no, I don't want to hang out. Do you want to buy a property? So yeah, that does happen. Like, I've had one time I sent out this property and it was for like $169,000. And then this buyer, a regular buyer, screenshotted it to me and was like, haha, 69. I'm like, okay, come on.
What the fuck? What are we, dude? I know, a grown ass man?
Yeah, people are weird.
I don't even understand how people are like this, dude.
I know.
I mean, honestly, dude, I totally get it. I love your take on this because this is the second time that I've ever asked this question on the podcast. The first one was a very formal answer. Like, we got to stand out. And I love that, but I also like how you don't really give a fuck and you're just going to make it regardless of the circumstances.
Yeah.
One of the things that I feel is the most challenging part in a real estate company is not just like, I mean, it's like the process of hiring people and then having the correct people in place, but managing a team virtually. Mm-hmm. I've tried to do that. I have both virtual and in-house, and I find that that's the best thing to do. But you're telling me you're 100% virtual in your business. How do you feel that impacts your company, one, and two, how do you set things up towards where there's like culture and what would you call that, synergy with everyone, even though everybody's everywhere?
So first synergy. So we do hold a lot of team meetings. We have a team meeting every single day with like a different person in the department.
I see.
And like, you know, right now it's me and them getting on the same page about things. And I'm kind of involved in everything. People message me all day long, and like, you know, like even if it's just something, you know, personal that they want to talk about or whatever, they'll message me. So they know that the team is there for them. But yeah, we hold meetings. And then really our Friday lunch that we do with everybody was super reluctant in the beginning to even do it. But once we got it started, that really helped build our bond. So we're not communicating every single day like you guys are in the office, but we still like, you know, I think that's what I learned from you. Like I saw it in your office, how great you are with everybody. And, you know, you walk in a room and everybody just stops and listens. I mean, it just happened like 5 minutes before we started this. So
I tell everybody I don't know how to shut up, which is great because I got a podcast now, so I can talk all I want.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. So I think just meetings, you know, getting on Zoom with each other, and like I make everybody turn their cameras on. Also learned that from you.
I love that.
Yeah. So every meeting, it doesn't matter what we're doing, you have to have your camera on so we can see each other. So that's how we keep the synergy. But I think, so a reason why I want to open my office and have acquisitions in office is because I won't be able to, you know, I won't be able to like kind of oversee them and do that whole culture and everything, like how you have it here. Everybody's so involved with each other.
Yeah.
That won't be easy to do with acquisitions.
It is tough, you know, like having an in-house team and an acquisition team. I mean, dude, I think that like when it comes to scalability of a company, I always try to look at the pros and cons of everything. Con is everybody's in the same area, and that's great. No, not, I mean, that could, okay, blah. Pro, everybody in the same area, everybody on the same page. Con, so easily distracted because of the amount of stuff that I have in my office. Pro means that communication can be on A1 and everybody can get things done. Con, it's super fun to be at the office, which isn't bad. I just love, you know, everybody being in the same place, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know, as far as developing like company culture in your business, how do you do that virtually? Because does Property Hub and Offer Hub, your two companies that you have, do these have a culture? And if so, what is it centered around?
So Offer Hub is new. It hasn't even been introduced to the team yet. Mm-hmm. So, and that's a reason why I wanted to change it, and why whenever we spoke, you know, we did everything Hub, is because I feel like the two don't go together, and it will help me, like kind of marry the two to have a similar name.
I see.
As far as culture within the team, I mean, you know, really the games that we do, that we play with each other.
Y'all play video games with each other?
I remember I sent you a screenshot. We were on your whatever there's games in there, and like we get really competitive on those, and it's so we'll do that a lot of the times, and then sometimes we'll have our Friday meetings where we talk about like stuff that's more personal to us and like kind of share with everyone. I don't know how, I mean, you know, in the beginning it was like stressful for them to do that, but now once they've opened up and like shared with their team, it's really like a lot closer. You know, it's kind of hard to.
What's the value in that, knowing your employees on that level?
I think they become more invested in the company, and they become more invested in each other. So it's less, that's why I can trust them so well, because they feel a responsibility to make sure that they're doing their job so that their other teammates don't suffer.
I love that.
Yeah. So
that's a cheat code right there, man. We got to rewind that and play it one more time.
So that's helped a lot. I mean, a lot. I know it's just like a 30-minute meeting, but it's helped. Like,
dude, meetings are so important. You know, I have a meeting with my staff across 17 different companies.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
And well, I mean, it's scheduled throughout the week, so everything. I mean, this is the thing, man. You have amazing people. You hire amazing people, and you pay them very well to do amazing jobs. And so when you have people that are invested to that tier where they're paying, they're making so much money working with you, they're getting their first house financed because of you. They're buying their first car because of you. And you're giving them this environment where they can grow. You are going to have the most fucking loyal employees and most down to ride motherfuckers for your company that have ever existed, because you are letting them know how fucking important that they are. And you're also showing that they are significant to the mission.
Yeah.
So that like the mission for me is financial freedom in all categories. And I think a lot of people, I was listening to a gal who I plan on having on the show. I'm going to speak it into existence. It's my friend Tiffany High and her husband. We spoke at the event together. She was saying not to hire employees that are entrepreneurs. And I actually 60 to 50% agree with that. But I love hiring employees that are entrepreneur, because if I can create an environment where people can grow exponentially with no roofs, no limits, and people can become millionaires, decamillionaires, centimillionaires working for my company, I know that I will have the greatest employees that had ever existed. But the goal isn't to just treat people like W-2, in my opinion. It's to treat people like they can become greater than they are. Because that's when you have the breakthrough and you have your highest sales months, your highest growth income months, everything that's involved with it. You know what I mean? But that's why people leave companies, because they're underpaid, underappreciated, and they feel that they're being used. And so why not give people the appreciation that they deserve? Why not give people the environment where they can make a lot of money, not just the environment to make a lot of money in sales, but give them salary, give them security working for your company, and then make what's important to them part of your goals. If your goal is to get a fucking brand new Tesla, I want to see you through on that. I want to work with you side by side so I can show you how that's attainable. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent about that.
I totally agree, because like, one girl bought a house, another guy bought a car within like the first few months of being there, and like they really, really appreciate it. Like you can tell, like they're like a borderline about to cry, and it's like, you worked hard for it, you earned this. So yeah, definitely that helps.
I love it, man. I love it. Dude, so what's like, so that college student that's listening right now, because I think that a lot of people are going to be listening from all aspects, all areas of life. You decided to say, fuck college, right?
Well, I graduated.
Oh, okay, never mind. But you could have kept going, right?
Well, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine. So I did college because we are, first-time immigrants, and it was important to my parents. But it took me 7 years to graduate. Like, that shit was treacherous. I hated college.
What did you get a degree in?
Finance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And whenever I signed up for that degree, they didn't tell me it was one of the longer ones. And I was like 4 years in, and I was like, why the hell is this shit still going? So I went and met with the counselor, and she's like, oh, you still have another year. It's a 5-year degree. So yeah, but I think college is important if you're going to go like be a doctor or a lawyer or like something that actually needs college. But I think there's so much opportunity on the internet now that, you can do whatever. You can start a YouTube channel or a TikTok of something that you're passionate about and make so much money off of it. Like, it could be the weirdest thing, and it doesn't matter because there's other people who want to see that. So,
you know what, man? I feel like, well, what about the person who's listening to this right now who's in college and he's thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, starting his own business? What would you say to that person?
I would say that, college doesn't take up all of your time. So if you're truly passionate about it and you want to try, you can try while you're still in college and see what works best for you.
Like a side hustle?
Yeah.
Did you have any side hustles when you were getting into entrepreneurship?
Well, I had 3 jobs, so no, I didn't have the time. But
3 jobs?
Well,
what
I was doing wholesale part-time, then I was selling insurance, and then I was in school, and then I worked for the finance company. So I didn't have a lot of, I was juggling a million different things to see what I wanted.
That's like 4 different jobs.
Yeah. It was tough. But I mean, what else was I doing,
Well, how did you find that this is what you wanted to do, like real estate stuff?
I don't think I ever really had a passion for real estate, but I had a passion for making sure that my parents were good, that I was setting myself up on a career path where I knew that I could provide for them eventually. And I want freedom of my time, like really bad. And so this was the first thing that I tried that I was like, I can do this and it will give me the things that I want. And so that was kind of why I went this path. Turns out to be a great path, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I love real estate,
Where was the breakthrough in your business? The breakthrough that got you to where you're at now, currently? Because where you're at now is insane. I know a lot of people that have been in this game, dude, like real estate. I mean, I told people when they started listening to this that this wouldn't be a real estate podcast. Unfortunately, that's your business, and that's cool. We're going to talk about that. But I know a lot of people that get into real estate. I see them at events all the time. We call them event junkies that fucking don't go anywhere. I just see them. The only place that they go is to the next event. That's it. And I see it. And it's not that it's a bad thing, but I'm always looking at it like, man, like this guy is really just looking for the secret ingredient to become successful. And then doing so, they get so attached in the outcome that they don't work on the present. Because the present, the things that you do every single day, like every minute that passes, those habits that you're forming, those are the things that are actually going to get you to where you want to fucking go.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people, they struggle, you know what I'm saying? And they go to events and that's all that they ever do.
What is it called? Analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis. That's the perfect word for it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they just get so caught up in the education and they never actually take that step. So like 8 years is what I've seen one guy tell me that he's been going to events before.
That's insane.
And you were able to accomplish so much in 3 years. What did you do that really made the difference here?
I think it's hard to answer that question because I don't feel like I'm doing anything special. But once I made the commitment to do it, I quit all my other jobs. So I was like, oh, fuck, I have to make this work. So that's been my drive, you know, like I have to. It's how I pay my bills. But I'm not doing anything special, you know, even whenever I first started. I mean, I was waking up late. I was, you know, out partying, drinking, but I was still, you know, getting to work and making sure that I had, you know, my next check coming in. So I wouldn't say that I'm doing anything special, but you just have to say, okay, I'm going to do it and then do it instead of, you know, thinking about doing it. You have to just do.
How long did it take for you to get to this level right now? I mean, you said like 3 years, right? But like there was a breakthrough moment that happened. What was that?
My breakthrough moment was doing it by myself. Well, not by myself. I had help along the way, but my breakthrough moment was like leaving my previous company and then getting to make all the decisions that I wanted in how the company was ran. So I would say that was my breakthrough moment.
Damn.
Yeah.
So just going solo.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider having a business partner later?
Man, yes. And it's like, I don't know what it is about wholesale that I'm like, I don't know if it's like I have to like prove it to myself that I can do this by myself or that I've had a partner before and I know what that's like. But
I've had multiple partners before, you know. It's funny. It's like divorces. It's like previous marriages almost.
I know. I'm traumatized.
It's not like a bad thing. To me, it's like I learned something from each person.
Yeah.
Even though it may have not have worked out and the outcome wasn't aligned with where I wanted to go, I still learned so many things from those mentors that I had.
For sure.
I think I'm not like trying to put anything negative on any business partner that I've ever had. We could have had a successful business in other things, just not real estate.
Yeah.
You know? So just finding the right person was so astronomical for me.
Yeah.
The people that you have right now, it's technically like they're like almost like business partners. They just don't own the company with you, but they're a part of your vision. What is the, like, I guess like whenever you get into your day to day, right? And you do all these meetings and whatnot, do you set up like monthly goals for your team? What kind?
So acquisitions and sales have a number that they need to meet depending on like what level they're at. So that's that. And then transaction coordinator also has like a quota that she needs to close per week. And marketing, I don't really have anything for him because I
get your emails all the time, dude.
Yeah.
Your marketing is so on point. It's not even funny.
Well, my marketing guy, the guy who pulls all my lists and does all, I don't really have a quota for him. Like if, you know, I kind of pay attention to see how, actually I just had a phone call with them this morning because the market's changing and we need to adapt. And we're working a lot of like cities that we should just go ahead and throw out for a minute while we regain our balance. And then maybe we can throw them back in. But, you know, with him, with my marketing guy, it's just kind of like, we'll see what happens with the list. I mean, we track how many leads we get and from like each different type of marketing thing that we're doing. So I don't really have anything for him. But then, yeah, texting is like we have a whole sheet that they fill out. And yeah, so we keep up with everything.
Where are you trying to take this? Like, what's the goal here?
You know, I don't know. I haven't fully decided because I haven't, you know, I've seen it and I've seen what it means to have, you know, 5-6 different acquisitions people and grow it to that point. And then I've seen, you know, bigger. And I'm trying to decide what I like, because I don't particularly like managing people, but I think that if I can grow with a good team, with good people that share the vision and see it long term, then I could take it big. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just open an office. I'm going to start small, see how I like it, and then, I don't know, check with me in like a year. So I'll let you know what I decide.
I love it, man, because you're like low key, high key, I'll say, winging the fuck out of this, but you're also trusting processes.
Yeah.
You know, when I first started, and this is something that I'll attest to it, because I definitely want your point of view on this. I didn't really have like mentors that I look up to. If they knew something, they weren't someone I liked still, you know? And you know, I'm not saying I'm the most fucking likable guy in the world or anything, but god damn, do I wish I would have had me when I started, you know? Because I had to meet a lot of assholes, and I got ripped off a lot, like learning from people. And that has like been the thing that held me back. That's what took me so long to get here, was that because of my bad experiences with previous mentors, I didn't even know what a fucking good mentor looked like. And so when I found a good mentor, that's what really like took me to the next level, dude. This is like 5 to 6 years in the making. It took me to find a coach that was worth my money.
Yeah.
I spent 35 grand on education. I've never done that before. You know how crazy that sounds? It's like a college education that I could have spent that money on.
That's how much debt I have to pay off my college.
That's insane to me, you know? And I had no guarantee that I was going to make any of that money back, but I put my faith into it and I trusted. I'm glad that I did. But you do it so fucking easily. Like, you invested into me without even questioning it.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I just kind of don't like to think about like the outcomes, and it just gives me anxiety. Like, if I'm like thinking too hard about like, oh my God, we're doing bad this month, like what am I going to do? You know, I can't have that clouding my mind. It's just, I don't like it. So I just I'm doing everything right. I mean, I do what I'm supposed to do. My team does what they're supposed to do. It'll work out. That's how. And as whenever I met you, it was like, I was kind of at a point where I was like, you know, I need to do something. Like, clearly what I'm doing isn't working, and I don't know what I don't know. You know, I haven't been around business people. Like, you know, my parents weren't business people. So everything that I did up until that point was just, you know, I was basically just fucking guessing, and some of it worked out, some of it didn't. And then so whenever you came along, it was an easy decision to make.
That's insane. What was the most valuable thing that you learned from me?
That I was a bad leader.
You're definitely not a bad leader, by the way.
And not anymore.
You were a good leader.
I wasn't.
Now you're a great one.
Okay, yes, we'll go with that. I just wasn't aware, because like I function in chaos, and so in my mind, so does everybody else.
Where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. I've always been like that.
Was life chaotic at one point?
Not really. It's just like I just kind of.
Oh, when you say chaos, you don't mean like trauma, like
no, I don't mean like trauma. I mean just
see,
like
okay.
I don't need to be organized. Like I just like, you know, I just live my life. I just go. I take it as it is, and so I just kind of assumed that everybody else could do that too, and I was very wrong. So whenever I came here, I learned that, you know, SOPs and like putting like metrics and numbers and stuff in front of people's face is something that they need in order to succeed at their job.
It's important, I think, you know, like I feel like that was a challenge for me. I was good at telling, I was good at leading, but I wasn't good at leading with structure. Yeah. I was leading people to a well that didn't even fully exist. And that's how I lost so many good people at the beginning of my journey. And you know what, man, I'm not going to say lost. I'll say gained, because I learned so much from bad hiring, like, and me not fulfilling my role as a CEO, to what now I expect from people that I bring on as CEOs for my company. So it's like, I mean, it's been like a huge growth thing for me, man, but that is not something that you just master overnight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard.
It is hard. And you know what? It's not like it's hard. Like it's like you're going to lose a lot. Well, nah, you'll lose more time than you will money doing this, because you're going to be invested into people, and sometimes it could be investing in the wrong people. But over here, you're going to be extremely invested into the right person, and that's actually going to make up for the bad people that you invested into your time.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, dude, I love it. But I guess as far as the direction that you're going, because right now we're talking about right now, right? Every time I see you, you're always like, I got to implement this now. I got to implement this today, right away. We got to make this change in this business today. I love that. You know, where does that decision-making skill where you're like, this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it today. That's a skill set. You know that, right?
I feel like because, okay, so before I met you, whenever I was struggling, another big thing that I learned is that the stuff that I needed to implement, I kind of knew I needed to, but I was like procrastinating for whatever reason. So it was, you know, directly my fault that it had taken that long because I was putting it off. So now I'm like, okay, got it. We have to act. Like I have to learn from my mistakes, you know? So that's where that comes from. And a lot of it is like, I've already seen it work because you're doing it or, you know, whatever. It's like, it's proven. It's a proven process. It's not a lot of guessing. So
I love that, man. You know, a lot of people don't think like that.
Really?
They don't think like that.
It's like you're taking the guesswork out for me.
That's what I'm saying though, because they see somebody else do it and they discredit themselves thinking that they're unable to do it. And so it stops them from moving forward, from actually doing it. Like whenever I see someone, I was talking to one of the new hires that we have for our company. And it's a sweet gal. Her name's Carmen. She's a waitress. She's phenomenal. I have no doubt in my mind she's not going to do fucking amazing things in this world. I speak that over people anytime I meet them. You saw me do that over my whole team a second ago. But I was talking to her about this passage that I love in the Bible, and it's called faith is in the evidence. It means that faith is in the evidence of things proven by scientific fact and mathematical equation. So when I see that you're capable of doing what you've done, then I know that it has been fully gifted in my power as a living and breathing human being to be able to achieve those same things.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't see that, man. They don't see that. And when they see some mentor, the first thing that they think of is scam. They think, oh man, the guy's going to take all my money. He's not going to teach me anything. She's going to take all my money. She's not going to teach me anything.
I feel like that's such a bad mindset to be in. You know, you can do your own independent research and see that, okay, yeah, there are a lot of scams out there.
There are, definitely.
So I get where that comes from, but you can dig a little deeper, you know, start talking to people, whatever. But I think just to approach it like that is such a bad mindset to be in.
What do you think makes that the worst mindset that someone could have? Like, how would that negatively affect somebody?
Well, it holds you back from doing a lot of stuff because you're always so scared that, you know, the world's out to get you. So instead of acting and taking control of your life, you're now playing the victim to something that hasn't even happened to you yet. So it's weird to me to
victim
be like,
mentality.
Yeah.
You know, I love how you put things together and you articulate the message. That's true. I wasn't even thinking about victim mentality. I was thinking more like a scarcity mindset, maybe.
That too. The worst.
The worst. You got to be willing to do the work. If you're not going to do the work, then you really have absolutely no fucking business being in entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
This right here requires a lot of time where you're going to do something where you're not going to make any money up front. Nobody's going to come and hold your hand. No one's going to say congratulations or good fucking job. And you have to go a long fucking time doing this, trying to make a bunch of money, praying to God that this works. And until you get comfortable with that and you get okay with that being a part of this outcome that you want for yourself, that's when the breakthrough is going to happen. That's when the change is going to happen. That's when the money's made.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude.
I heard you, real quick, sorry. I
Go
heard
ahead.
you talking to Carmen and you were mentioning like, you know, if you think about, you know, you're like, oh, I want money really badly, or I want this, or I want that. It doesn't come to you in the way that you want. I feel like that is a mindset that you have to learn, because I do attribute that to like my success, because I don't harp on those things. So I think what you were saying before is like key.
Dude, I've yet to see you doubt or show fear in anything that I've ever presented you. Like I'm telling you, a lot of times I'll be mentoring someone and then I'll show somebody something super fucking amazing that worked for me tenfold. I show them the proof. I show them the bank statements. I show them the HUDs. I show them all the closings that happened from me doing this one thing.
Yeah.
Right. And the first thing that they do is like, well, I don't think I can do that. I don't think that that's something that's possible for me. And I ask them, well, why? You know, and to me, it seems like fear plays a big factor in some of their lives. I'm not name dropping or anything, but this has happened to me a lot of times. And so, dude, I've noticed that you take on opportunities with absolutely no fucking fear of the outcome. And you told me before the money's going to get spent regardless, right? And so, dude, how did you master that skill set?
I'm telling you, I think I just don't think about it. Like, it's like I'm ignoring. Of course, doing new stuff is scary, but what am I going to not do it because I'm scared? No. And then also, I think a big factor is like, you've kind of like not proven yourself to me because obviously you don't need to do that, but I trust you completely. So if you tell me to do something, I know that it's going to be in my best interest. So it's easy to do with you. If some like random person walked up to me and was like, "Hey, give me $100,000," I'd be like, "Fuck you, no," But I know that you got me. Like, and even if I mess up and put myself in a bind or something, I can call you and be like, "Hey, what do I do?" And like, you'll help me dig myself out of it. So, I fully trust you, and I think that's why it's easy to do that.
That's crazy. Dude, I shit myself when I sent that wire to my mentor. It was all the money that I had at the time. I had just lost so much money in making bad business decisions, paying people when I shouldn't have paid them, having people in the office that were doing nothing but draining me. I was so afraid that there wasn't going to be, like, this wasn't going to be the best thing that happened to me. Because you know what I mean? Like, and I think that feeling comes from a lot of different things, but I had never paid for coaching before.
Yeah, me neither. But, and I told you, I think we talked about this last time. I had maybe like $10,000 left after I sent you that money. But wow. I was like, we still had, I had expenses, we were still operating the company inefficiently. So I was like, I would rather spend this money and see what happens than, it's just going to get drained away in expenses. So I might as well put it to something, put it to good use.
Question on that, man. What were you making before you met me?
So we were doing like the first 6 months of business, we were doing great. We were, hitting 60, 70,000 and we didn't have a lot of people or expenses. So it was good. And then, I don't know, after that, I don't know what happened, but we started to add more people in. Actually, I do know what happened. We started to add more people in and it was harder to keep everybody together because we didn't have the structure and all the pieces weren't playing right together. So, we were hitting like 30 grand a month, which was absolutely unacceptable. In wholesale, that's like easy to do.
That's like 2 houses.
Yeah, tops. That's like nothing. So yeah, so we started making 30 pretty consistently for like maybe 4 months and then maybe 5 months. And that's when I came here and then started implemented. And now we hit anywhere between like 70, 75 to like 100. That's regular for us. And then we've had months where we hit like 150, 120, things like that. But
that's crazy. What was so like, as far as like what we've been doing, what do you feel is the most valuable thing that you've learned from being your mentor?
Really, I think the way that you interact with people, like the way that you operate and kind of how, it's no secret that whenever you talk, people listen, like you're really like respected in a room. And that's kind of the biggest thing that I've taken away from that. It's interesting to see. Cause I've never seen anybody been able, like, I've seen people do it here or there to like some people, but you can do it to everybody. And it's a skill, I think. And probably, I don't know, given to you at birth, but I've seen that. That was like, whenever I came here and saw how you interact with your team in office, like the acquisitions guys, I was like, oh yeah, like that's what it takes to be a leader. And to have a successful company, like it starts for me, like I have to know how to lead my people so then I can build leaders, they can lead, and we can start to grow.
So crazy, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm honestly super excited, dude. What can these people that are listening expect from you here in the next couple of months to come?
Oh, we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully opening the office and that goes really good and we get some new people in. My current acquisitions manager, I am planning on moving him to more of a leadership role. So I'm excited to see that. Hopefully we can get him on some content videos because he sounds amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we're branching off into some other stuff. Trucking. I'm about to buy an 18-wheeler with one of my partners. So that's random and should be interesting. And then hopefully more storage units.
Maybe we'll start a business together.
I would love that.
Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know about moving to San Antonio, but
it's all good, man. It's all good. I'm virtual in like literally 80% of the companies that I'm running.
Yeah, no, I feel like we could find something.
I'm sure.
It'll come to us one day.
It will come to us one day.
Yes, it will.
Where can everybody that's listening to this right now get a hold of you? How can they follow you? What's your social media stuff?
I think it's just my name. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at that. But if you just search my name on Facebook, Instagram. Oh, TikTok is Oana Invests, Oana.invest. I know that one.
Boom.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll make it easy. All right, guys, for y'all watching this on YouTube, I will drop every bit of her tags on there, man.
Yes, that'll be easier. My name's kind of hard to spell, so.
It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate you coming on the podcast so
Yeah.
much and sharing your journey with us. We're all fucking absolutely just blown away by the amount of growth that you've had. And it's just crazy that this barely happened 3 years ago. Your true testimony to what someone can do and in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
Dude, it took me 2 years to close my first deal. Look what you're at.
Wow, really?
Yeah, 2 years. And I made $2,100. So you're miles ahead of me. I can't even imagine where you're going to be at in the next couple of years of us doing this.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. Alrighty, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will see y'all on the next episode, and you guys take care. Don't forget to subscribe.